How you feeling, Brad?
Oh, I'm loving this. It doesn't get any better.
Any plans for the weekend? Or are you just hanging out?
Oh my God.
If you haven't encountered it before, this is the high adrenaline, high rise and high stakes pastime of urban exploring. Taking the fresh air route up the side of the Shard in London, for example, the tallest building in Europe. Newsnight went out for a night on the town in London with Bradley Garrett, academic at Oxford University by day, urban explorer by night. Bradley, we see the square mile lit up behind us. What do you see when you look at that? Do you see a jungle gym? Do you see a world of opportunities? What is it?
Absolutely, it's a realm of opportunity and possibility. I mean, over the past 4 years, we've climbed almost every major construction project in the city. So, you know, we've climbed the Walkie-Talkie building, we've climbed the Cheese Grater, we climbed Heron Tower. There's something really enticing about walking into a building and kind of unraveling its history one thread at a time and trying to piece together the history of that place on your own.
Paris. Why go potholing on some lonely moor when you could go spelunking through the French sewers instead, like Bradley and friends? For the urban explorer, taking pictures is crucial. Half the fun is posting images of your exploits like these online once you make it back, assuming you do. Injury and worse goes with the unauthorized territory. This is the Forth Bridge as you've never seen it before, filmed from a helmet-mounted camera as urban explorers shuffle across its mighty arches on their backsides.
We did have a bit of a scare about 3/4 of the way down the bridge when it started raining. We had to move fast to get off the bridge. You don't want to be stuck on the top of a bridge when it's raining.
Bradley Garrett can't be prosecuted for trespass as it's not a criminal offence in the UK, though he and others have appeared in court charged with criminal damage following an alleged incident on the Underground. What would you say to people who say, what business is it of yours to enter these premises in this slightly cloak and dagger way?
Well, obviously, there are certain lines that you draw. You know, you would never go into someone's house, for instance. But there are certain places, certainly places that were built and maintained with taxpayer money, that urban explorers feel they have, you know, they have a certain right to see if they want to see them.
What about this place over here then?
Yeah.
That wouldn't have been built with taxpayers' money, I'm guessing.
No, not at all. But it was empty. It was covered in scaffolding. It wasn't being used for any particular purpose. So as long as you don't damage it, and as long as nothing gets broken, and, you know, hopefully the police don't get called and you don't waste their time.
And nobody gets hurt.
And nobody gets hurt, then, you know, nothing has been affected.
Emerging from the high grass in a corner of Regent's Park, it's Sir Simon Jenkins, chairman of the National Trust and fully paid up member of the Great and the Good. Naturally, he thoroughly disapproves of pesky urban explorers, except that he doesn't really.
Well, this is where I came as a tiny boy, and it was my sort of Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe territory.
He used to let himself in to the ruins of a great house that once stood here.
And when I did my urban exploring in my youth, we could go around dozens of warehouses, old churches, houses in Spitalfields, wonderful old sea captains' houses down in Deptford, the London docks. I run out of places. The top of St Pancras Station. I mean, all the places we.
You were chased away by turnkeys and janitors, were you?
Oh, frequently, yes. I mean, those were exciting times.
So, are you saying, with all the weight of your presence on the National Trust, that urban exploring is a good thing?
Well, I'm not in favour of trespassing, but there's no doubt that there are circumstances in which simply drawing attention to empty property, and empty property is wrong, can deliver goods. It simply draws attention to it. It says to the people who own it, look, this is wrong, you're losing money, we have got uses for these buildings, come on now, let's discuss it.
Urban explorers have taken remarkable photographs like these here and in Europe. They are accidental curators of a portfolio of lost properties. Those pictures were taken by these British urban explorers.
There's an element of maybe urban archaeology. It's not like you're approaching things as a strict science, but you are going there, you're having experiences, you're continuing the life cycle of that building by just being there, interacting with the objects that you find. And that you do find out little small stories about people, their lives, just from the documentation left behind them. It's quite interesting to actually interact with that and be there with it instead of it just all sort of falling into nothingness and decaying.
Back on the Thames embankment, Bradley Garrett is off on his adventures again, in another unseen London, the world of urban exploration and things that go jump in the night.